Now to James Dorsey, a Middle East analyst and a senior fellow at Singapore's S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies. He's joining us from Singapore. Always good to speak to you. So was Friday's statement issued under duress, and did that duress come from Saudi officials?
Doubt that there is duress coming from Saudi Arabia. The STC has been saying from the moment that the delegation arrived in Riyadh that it had been detained by Saudi authorities. In fact, a foreign advisor to the STC delegation decided at the last minute not to travel to Riyadh because the delegation had been detained. This has somewhat a resonance in the way that Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman a decade ago tried to force events in Lebanon when he detained the then Lebanese Prime Minister Saad Hariri. What the Saudis are concerned about is they want a united Yemen. They are dead set against any partition of the country. And they also want to control whatever process there is in the south, in southern Yemen. The STC has put itself in a very difficult position, even so, with its invasion of the two provinces of Yemen, Hadramaut and Al-Makhra, and particularly Hadramaut, which has a 700-kilometer-long border with Saudi Arabia. And what you're seeing at the moment is Saudi-backed Yemeni troops advancing towards Aden, the STC's stronghold, and it's unlikely that the STC will be able to put up a fight that would keep it in position.
So, James, do you now think that because the UAE is believed to back the Southern separatist group, and it's also where their leader, Aidarus al-Zubaydi, is meant to be at the moment, what does this tell us about the relationship between Saudi Arabia and the UAE, which has certainly become more in the spotlight over the last weeks? And many are saying that there's a lot of tension now between these countries for their involvement in Yemen as well as in other parts of the region.
There's been quite a lot of tension for a fairly long time. What we're seeing is this tension being officially acknowledged, if you wish, and being out in the open. The Saudi strategy, by and large, not only in Yemen, but across the region, is to support legitimate governments in states that are fragile or that are failed. Think of Somalia, think of Libya, think of Sudan. Whereas the United Arab Emirates has seen opportunity in supporting secessionist and rebel forces. The UAE is now on a defensive. It clearly, its ally in southern Yemen, the STC, is clearly on the defensive. We saw in the last 24 hours, Somalia order the UAE to remove its military equipment and personnel from Somalia, and Somalia has banned UAE military and cargo flights. So at this point, this has been an unprecedented setback for the UAE, which in many ways was a Teflon state.
So, James, the other major player in Yemen is, of course, the Houthis. How do you think they are viewing these developments?
They're looking at this and smiling, essentially. With other words, two of their opponents are fighting each other. The issue here is that, particularly for the Saudis, there is no unified Yemen without the Houthis, who control the north of the country. Interestingly, Oman, which is in the Yemen conflict, positioned itself neutrally up until the STC invasion of Hadramaut and Al-Makhra, sided with the Saudis in fighting the STC and pushing the group out of those two Yemeni provinces. In fact, one reason why the Saudis intervened was that the Omanis were telling them that the STC was thinking of following the example of Somaliland, a breakaway Somali republic which declared independence.
Okay, we'll leave it there for now, but thanks for breaking that all down for us. Middle East analyst James Dorsey.
Pleasure, Yashini.